will take this outside for you. There's somebody in this world I would do. If I could be your friend, if I could be your friend.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Tulsa. By now, we already know that I am in the Tulsa remote program with roughly 2 months remaining to fulfill my 1-year commitment. So today's episode is all about some of the things that I've been doing, just activities, events, social life, things like that. In my, I think week 37 or week 40 video, we talked about how, well, I think we've been talking about this all along. My Tulsa remote journey was unique to me. Sort of went through the moving process twice in a really short period of time, which didn't leave a lot of time for me to have a social life or explore Tulsa so much. And now I'm really getting into that. And I am happy to report that yes, there are plenty of things to do in Tulsa and outside of Tulsa because I finally made it to OKC. How do we feel about OKC? Overrated. I'm just gonna go through my camera roll, recent events and activities that I went to. Boy, if you don't stop, Tulsa's turning me into my grandmother every minute. Cause these flies, man. I got me a good sturdy, I had to give myself a good sturdy, if you're going through what I'm going through right now, springtime with the flies, I don't even know how they're getting in. I think every time I open the door, like 4 of them must come in or something. Target has the best fly swatters ever. Back to the subject at hand. So yes, I'm just gonna go through my camera roll and take you through some of the recent events that have happened here in Tulsa, what I've been getting into. So for starters, this one, not too crazy, not too exciting. I went to Krab King's with a friend of mine and we got Daiquiris. Now, what was interesting about this, I moved to Tulsa from Houston and the daiquiri thing is really big for sure in Louisiana. Louisiana is wide open with public intoxication, public drinking, right? Houston, it was pretty much the same where, you know, I remember the drive-through daiquiri spots and you would see people just careening and swerving into the daiquiri spot. Or wait, no, it's Houston, so maybe they was swanging, okay, turning wide, right, across all the lanes, swerve into the drive-through daiquiri spot, get their daiquiri and peel out. Well, it was very different at Krab King. Several of you guys have recommended Krab Kings in the comments. We didn't get to eat there this particular time, but I will definitely go back. It was good vibe in there. The customer service was really great. It smelled good and it was clean. Cleanliness is definitely a priority for me when it comes to like a seafood spot. They had all of that going for them. So the gentleman made our daiquiris and he like sealed them. Essentially, he came up from behind the counter, walked us outside, put the sealed daiquiris, he put them in the trunk or the back seat or something like away. You know what I mean? It was like a whole ordeal. And I was asking my friend why. And they're like, yeah, Oklahoma doesn't play that as far as drinking. Like they could get into huge trouble if they were to like, I don't know, hand us a daiquiri in a cup with a straw in it, like what I'm accustomed to with getting daiquiris, right? So I just thought that was interesting and just a difference with Oklahoma as far as their approach to certain things. MMJ is legal in Oklahoma, but it is not legal in Texas, but they have these very different approaches, like 2 red states. What do you want, boy? What do you need, man? What is it, kitty? Huh? Why are you interrupting my video? This is very important stuff. Now, a quick disclaimer before we go any farther. 1, I'm an Aries. We love a crazy little adventure. Sometimes Aries will get ourselves into crazy, unnecessary situations for the sake of adventure. Calculated risk, right? So some of these places that we're going to talk about in this video, I am not recommending them for anyone to go there, nor am I saying that you shouldn't go there. I will say that some of these places, and we'll talk about this as well, you know, some of these places I definitely went with a local, like a trustworthy local, someone that I've known for a minute. I'm interested in pretty diverse things, and I really want to get an idea of Tulsa as a whole. So throughout this journey in Tulsa, you're gonna find me with the multicultural friend groups, okay, different communities, different people, different socioeconomic backgrounds. Like that's just what I'm interested in. And part of the reason that I came here, right, was for that adventure, that exploration side of things. Even though I am in a home here, you know, I'm still in the process of deciding whether Tulsa will be my forever home and or how long it will be my home. So yeah, this journey is not over. Even though I'm close to my 12 months in the Tulsa remote program, there's still quite a ways to go in determining where I'm gonna go from here. Finding ultimately like my different friend groups, which I have some established, right? But it's like, you know, you guys know, it's still exploring. This is still part of the journey. As I said, we're going to go through my camera roll. So the most recent things I did are going to come up first and the older things are going to come up last. So this weekend is the Black Wall Street bike rally, which happens in Greenwood. It's an annual event. If I don't get this video posted in time, you know, next year in the future, if you're not in Tulsa yet or you didn't make it this year, the rally was really cool. I mean, I think it's very similar to other like bike weeks or bike rallies that you may see across the country. I feel like for me, what was different, or really, of course, it's really special because we're commemorating and honoring Black Wall Street, right? So it's in the memory of the people who, not just the people who died in the massacre, right? But the people who lived, let's say that, right? It was in memory and in honor of the Black community of Greenwood that was destroyed in a race massacre in 1921. So that's the first thing, right? Some of these Black white bike weeks that I'm aware of, like let's say Myrtle Beach, for example, as far as I know, it's just like people going there to be crazy and have fun, right? So this is an event with purpose, and there's like a whole schedule and itinerary and tons of events. Like it's not just people coming out to show off their bikes, right? But there's like a lot of education and cultural aspects to it and things like that. My experience though was pretty much limited to, just walking down Greenwood, you know, and observing, catching the vibes. There were definitely people who came out from all parts of the country just to be a part of this celebration. Something else that I noticed that was really different and interesting to me too is the diversity. I've talked about this at the rodeo, right? When I went to the quote unquote Black rodeo in February at the Expo Center, and there were tons of Hispanic people, some white people, like everyone, the entire community came out. And in my experience so far, that seems to really be a characteristic of Tulsa. A lot of things that are labeled for a certain community, everyone comes out and they come out in support. Now I was only at the rally for a couple hours, but I didn't see any sort of like hostility or weird activity or anything going on. So I'm going to stay in my oblivious little bubble. What I saw and what I observed was just different communities or different racial groups coming together to acknowledge and celebrate Black Wall Street. So many incredible vendors who were there. Shout out to the lemonade lady. Thank you very much. It was delicious, delicious lemonade. I will be looking for her next year. And it was so good, I couldn't even finish it. Something else that I did, and I don't know why it's taken me this long to do this, is walking on Cherry Street. My friend put me on to this Rose Rock Micro Creamery. He said, listen, you have to try the banana pudding ice cream. Let me tell you, they're onto something. My favorite ice cream, like local Tulsa ice cream till now, is Big Dipper up until this point. And I think that Rose Rock might have, and just in my humble opinion, outdone them. And then I just took a little walk down Cherry Street. I'm planning to do a video as well down Cherry Street and kind of showing that area. I've gotten some requests for that, and just haven't made it around to doing that yet. And for those who don't know, Cherry Street is kind of small area, but it has like a shopping district. There's some apartments. It reminds me of Brookside in a sense, like a micro Brookside, I guess, that it has like some boutiques and specialty shops, and Pinkitzel, which is like a cute little candy shop. They have some chocolates, desserts, and things like that. And then I also went to this spot, which I had been interested in for a really long time, that specializes, it's like a specialty market, but also a restaurant as well. And I wasn't aware that there was that restaurant aspect of it as well until I actually got inside. So that was really cool. They had some like organic produce, drinks, kombucha, just had that kind of vibe, dimly lit, dark wood, and they're serving food in there. Oh, and mind you, you guys, this is like daily, right? So I've been busy AF every single day, right? Because the Black Wall Street rally was Friday. Thursday was when I went down Cherry Street, just exploring on Cherry Street. Wednesday night of this past week, I finally made it to Retro, you guys, the infamous Retro. What can I say? Expectation versus reality. It was cool. Like, it reminded me of a place back home. Like, I'm sure for a lot of people, it will remind you of a place back home, right? Like that bar or that club or that pool hall that like your aunties and uncles go to, and maybe you finally got old enough to go and you figured out like what all the mystique was about this place, and it's just a little hole in the wall, like chill spot, you know what I mean? And I don't say hole in the wall with, by no means, there's no disrespect attached to that, right? Yeah, it's just a small, intimate, chill spot. I know that Retro does have a certain reputation. I can't confirm or deny anything about that. I know that I went on a Tuesday night with three friends. Two of them were really familiar with the place. Two of us were not. Tuesday night is karaoke. I would say the average age, we brought the age, like my friend group that I was with, we brought the average age down by like 10 to 15 years, okay? But the average age, excluding us, was probably like 55 to 60, right? Cool seniors, they got dressed up, they got fly, they came out and they did their karaoke, had a little drink. But wait a minute. Okay, first things first, did I feel safe in Retro? Absolutely. There is like an indoor and outdoor part of Retro. We were indoors. The outdoors was like a whole different vibe. And that is, you know, if you wanted to like bring your cigar or whatever. I'm not sure if they had hookah, but you know what I mean? Like that was the outdoor sort of patio kind of vibe. So they were playing like a different type of music. The karaoke wasn't going, and it looks like a little bit younger crowd out back than inside. But we have talked about this in several videos and in the comment section. What about the food at Retro? Once again, Tulsa, you came through in the comment section and everyone was correct. And also, I heard this as well at the Takara Williams comedy show at Bricktown a couple weeks ago, where there was this huge debate about whether or not people should go to Retro, if Retro is safe and so on. And let me tell you, the fish was good, the chicken was good. My friend had a hot link. That was good. Now, y'all might have seen a kneecap in that last clip, and you might be asking yourself, is there a Mr. Turn 40 in the picture? Mind your business. I don't even know yet, but I don't think so. TBD. All right. I'm telling you, the same week. So point being, like, you don't have to be in the house in Tulsa. You could be outside every single day if you wanted to. Now, where you go and what you do is up to you. As you can see, this particular week, I was definitely a little bit out of the box, outside of those like normal, what I see is like kind of cookie cutter activities that Tulsa Remote puts on for program members. There's nothing wrong with that, but I have experienced that to a degree. And like I said, I'm just trying to branch out. So Tuesday night of last week, I went to OO. Y'all, I don't think there's no pictures or videos from OO. OO, in my opinion, was like similar to Retro, but it was also different. There's a dance floor. It's a very small place. OO and Retro, in my opinion, are very much like local hangout spots, right? For a little bit more of a mature crowd. Now, OO played a lot of, I had no idea a lot of the music that they were playing. And one of my friends was like, yeah, I think this is like Oklahoma music, which I've been searching for this whole time. But it kind of reminds me of, you know, that's, if you want to leave, just leave. Go ahead and walk out the door. One thing that you gotta know, one monkey don't stop no show. Wanna leave, just leave. One thing that you gotta know, one thing that home. One monkey don't stop no show. Like those type of songs. That was popular in Texas too. Some spots that I went to. Unless you're a local, that may or may not be exactly for you. Then May 10th, I went to the Maya concert, and that was part of Mayfest, which was really cool. A really cool event. And I think this was put on by the city of Tulsa and maybe Tulsa Remote. Had some involvement, but man, it was really great seeing Maya. One of those people that I've never seen her perform live, and I didn't really expect to. It wasn't like on my agenda to do it, but I'm so glad that I went. I love to see her, you know, she's like slightly older than me, like in great shape, singing her butt off, good vibes, good energy. It was cool. Oh, also, I think I just got some footage here through the gate of OneOK Fields. It seems like there's always something going on at OneOK. I haven't been there yet. Y'all know I'm not really a sports girly, or maybe you do or don't know that, but yeah, I'm not really a sports girly. I'll make it there though, eventually, for something. The weekend prior, so last weekend, I went to Oklahoma City for the very first time. My expectations, you guys, I think mainly from my interactions with people here in Tulsa, Tulsans saying OKC is much better. People who are saying they hate it in Tulsa, they want to move to OKC. Like, you know, all of this. But and then there's like this little rivalry between Tulsa and OKC. In one video, I talked about how someone had sort of misinformed me. I was misinformed that the Thunder basketball team was supposed to have resided in Tulsa, and there was some kind of swindle or backdoor deal that happened, and someone caused the team to be put in OKC instead. So I was like angry with OKC for a couple weeks until I did that video. And then someone, like people educated me in the comments and said, I don't know what that person is talking about. That definitely is not what happened. Like the Thunder was always supposed to be in OKC and so forth. But there is still the argument that because the Thunder is in OKC, OKC maybe is growing faster or more developed, and there's more money, more diversity, more everything, more things to do in Tulsa compared to OKC. Also that OKC had more shopping and things like that. So I was only in OKC for a weekend celebrating a friend of mine's birthday. Being there for a weekend, eating at restaurants the entire time. I have to say just a little bit of restaurants that I was exposed to in OKC definitely, I think, are definitely superior to the food that I found in Tulsa. And this was everything from like food trucks, local casual dining spot. I didn't get the name of everything that we went to. I wish I did, but yeah, I would say like everything was really good. Where in Tulsa, a lot of times I'm left disappointed, unfortunately, by the food. Like I've gotten to the point where I don't eat anywhere unless you guys recommended it because it's just really hit or miss for me in Oklahoma. Also part of that trip, so we went to the Criterion, saw Nate Jackson at the Criterion Theater. I don't know about the Criterion though. Man, my review of the Criterion, very uncomfortable. Like they have like those metal folding chair seats that hurt your butt so bad. There's like a very small area, I would say like just right in the middle where I think anyone would really have a clear view or the best view, and maybe in the balcony as well. But yeah, and then everyone else is like off to the side, like under a freaking canopy almost, like you can't really see anything to the extent, you know, Nate Jackson, if you guys are not familiar, he's a big crowd work comedian, and so he does a lot of like picking on people in the audience and cracking jokes on them. He was like, turn on all the lights in here. Like, I can't see anyone. I can't see anything. So they turned on all the lights, which actually made it a little bit better that even Nate Jackson was more visible to us. When you look at the diagram, it looks like you're actually going to be somewhere that you're able to see, like you're in front of the stage. And then the next thing you know, you're like off in the corner behind a pillar, okay? And can't see anything. So you guys, if you're planning on going to the Criterion for the first time, I would definitely say carefully check your seating to know exactly where you are. And try to get in the front, like that middle front, like directly in front of the stage if possible. And I don't know if they set it up differently for different events. I'm actually thinking of going back there sometime soon for something different. Another observation I had in OKC is, man, definitely that same hospitality that you get in Tulsa, we definitely experienced in OKC. Said, hey, we're not from here. People were immediately like, welcome to OKC, that same vibe that I would get in Tulsa, right? So that's that same like hometown kind of vibe. Every single person will recommend something for you to do in OKC. So that similar experience. So I think it's like an Oklahoma thing at this point. We talked about the food. Food was much better, in my opinion, in OKC, my limited exposure. If I think about like the first 5 restaurants I tried in Tulsa and the first 5 restaurants I tried in OKC, OKC hands down wins that battle. Something else I noticed was the homeless situation in OKC. Now, of course, I was there for a very limited period of time, but I would say that there was definitely a lot less visibility and a lot less like homeless. The homeless population just wasn't as visible and pronounced as it is in Tulsa. In Tulsa, you know, you're riding down the highway and you just look over and you'll see like, you know, a whole tent city off to the side of the highway, or come down the exit ramp and there's people having a freaking party. They've got their laundry drying, they've got pets, they've got all these kind of things going on. In Tulsa, where it's kind of outrageous. OKC, I did not see that at all. So of course I didn't ride, you know, up and down every street and every highway, but initial impressions, I did not see as many people who were apparently having a mental health crisis, apparently under the influence. It was less visible. It seems like maybe OKC has a better handle on that, but I can't say for sure in just one weekend. Definitely in OKC, I feel like the vibe was different. It did have more of like an upbeat, a more city feel to it, right? But it also wasn't giving like Houston or Dallas. Like I've heard OKC compared to Dallas. I've heard OKC compared to St. Louis. I didn't get that. I didn't even get that it was so much bigger than Tulsa or more beautiful than Tulsa. OKC, I thought it was going to be this big like Jurassic Park wow moment because of the way that people talked about OKC. So in my limited and brief experience in OKC, I did learn that home prices are a little bit cheaper than Tulsa, which is really interesting. And I will say that the neighborhoods that I saw that we drove through in OKC, or like the suburbs, particularly Edmonds, because I saw more of Edmond than anything, seemed really nice. So no regrets, but yeah, that's really interesting. Like, it's interesting that there's this idea, this perception that like OKC is so much better and it's much more popping. And they have the NBA team, but the homes are more affordable than in Tulsa. Interesting. Yeah, it seemed really nice. And I can't comment on shopping personally. I got the whole spiel from someone who originally was from Tulsa and now living in OKC, that the shopping is clearly better, with a detailed explanation of why. And I can see that. I also feel like people were more dressed, like the style in OKC definitely I think is different than it is in Tulsa. People seem to be more like up on fashion and have, like, I would say, a fashion identity in OKC than they do in Tulsa. And not that people can't dress in Tulsa, you know what I mean? But yeah, it just seems a little more intentional in OKC, and maybe it's because they have that access to those things, so they buy it, they wear it.
The main Mac Daddy of Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah, Tamashi was one of the places. Tamashi Ramen, yeah, was one of the places that we ate. I definitely took a picture of their sign because I want to remember and go back there, but the food was good, the drinks were good, really good. That's one place I can recommend in OKC. I think that's the only one that I got their information. Yeah, we went to a cigar bar. I mean, it was cool. It was cool. Went to see Sinners. That's not really Tulsa related. I did go to the IMAX theater out on 71st Street, and kind of disappointed in the quality of the theater. Like, I don't know, but the search continues for like a nice, like a nice modern theater that has like the really nice seats, the tray table that you can put your stuff on, not hold everything in your hands the whole time. And I maybe need to look into the suburbs for that. I'm thinking probably Broken Arrow maybe is a better bet. Oh, someone told me Owasso too. I haven't gotten into the suburbs yet. To April 26th, they had this really cool event at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, and it was called TPAC Arts Elevated. So there was different performances. There were different artists performing. There was a Mexican dance troupe doing traditional Mexican dances. There was this young man singing who was so awesome. He sounded so good. I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to feature him. He sounded so good. I'm like, yeah, I need to definitely include him in my video. It's like, it was a fun time. Definitely nice, something nice and cultural, an event that you could take your kids to. One of the things that I loved also was there were some seniors, a senior theater group put on a play, and it reminded me, I remember my very first video when I first got to Tulsa, I was talking about my observations of how, maybe my first or second video, my observation of how people seem to be healthier in Tulsa than what I've observed in a lot of cities. And I said that even the seniors, they seem like healthier. You know, it's rare that I see someone walking with a cane or in a little scooter. They're like up, walking, back is straight, cognitively they're there. And I see that throughout different communities, different racial or ethnic groups in Tulsa. So I don't know if it's something in the water, lifestyle habits, being a good Christian, I don't know, but people seem to be really healthy here and happy, you know, healthier and well into their old age. And that was really inspiring. Gosh, I keep trying to record this part and keep forgetting, y'all. So I went to a little craft market in Kendall Whittier, and here's some footage of that. Craft market. But no, I'm not busy. No. I can hear you perfect. I actually hear, this is one of the clearest calls we've had in a minute. I just dropped off Tech 9 and if I was out in the middle, I think I'm on my way home.
He's trying to go everywhere.
So yeah, it was, I don't know, you know, I'm in my 40s, so it was a lot of clothes that I used to wear in 2003 at a serious markup. The pointy toe boots, leather clothes, you know, it was cool. It's like, damn, like the shit I used to wear when I was 20 is now considered vintage, but that's cool.
I feel so old.
All right, so thank you for joining me for a quick peek into my life in Tulsa, some of the things that I have been getting into. Hopefully we answered the question, is there anything to do in Tulsa? There is plenty to do. What I have shown you and more. I'm definitely into a variety of different activities, and I will try to take you along on as many things as I can as I start getting into like hiking, camping, road trips, exploring outside of Tulsa and inside of Tulsa and OKC and everywhere in between and beyond. And I hope that you will go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can join me on this journey. As always, the comment section is open for any comments, questions, and suggestions for different places to go. Maybe places that I can go next time in OKC, as well as locally here in Tulsa. Oh, especially if anyone knows about a good movie theater. I just want a little bit nicer theater, like a Studio Movie Grill. They have those in Texas. I don't know if they have it here. Oh, so it looks like they do have those in Oklahoma. So maybe I answered my own question, the Studio Movie Grill. But like, yeah, that type of theater, right? Double O and retro and all of that. I'm glad that I finally went, but I don't know if that's going to turn into my stomping grounds. Hello, here in Tulsa. Yes, I will definitely still be going to, you know, all of the good Tulsa Remote events, the Sunset Social of it all. Yes, I'll be back there and more. So I hope that you will come along and join me on this journey. Like, comment, subscribe, and go on and hit that notification bell so you can be notified next time I post a video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I love y'all. Peace.